Hello again. I'm glad to have you back. The semester is going very quickly. We had spring break a couple of weeks ago and are now moving into the products section of our course. We talked about products last time and how important they are. Remember, a product can be a thing, an idea, or a service. This time we're going to be talking about new products, totally new products, and the way we develop them to meet new needs. Many years ago we had very few choices in the kind of products we use. Just a few kinds of milk, a few kinds of cheese, and now it seems that the choices we have are totally overwhelming. It was interesting to me to see the different kinds of products that were listed in the book, including new to the world, and most of you are probably young enough that you don't remember many of the things that they talked about, like cell phones and transistor radios and computers and other things that are second nature to you because you've grown up with them. But to somebody from my generation, we remember the development of all of these things, or a good number of them. So it's really very interesting to look back and see how new products are developed. At one time, the U.S. Patent Office considered closing because they had had so many different things turned in for patents. They said really there was nothing else that could be invented, and clearly they were wrong. So our work this time is going to be dealing with new products, how they are developed, how life cycle is done, and how products come into the market, they're introduced, grow, reach a maturity point, and die. There are some products that actually have a very long life. For instance, washing machines. Since washing machines were invented, they were extremely popular because they met a need for all households. At first they had a wringer type of washing machine that you washed and then ran through a couple of rollers and squeezed the water out. And once spin cycle washing machines were developed in the 1950s, they really haven't changed much. They've added features, bigger loads, more gentle cycles, but pretty much they're very similar to the ones that my mother bought in the 1960s. The same with dryers. A few features added and enhancements, but they are pretty much the same technology. So they are in the maturity cycle of part of their life cycle, and probably will stay that way for quite a while. Other products, fads and things, have a very fast growth period, introduction period, and then death very quickly. For instance, when I was about in the 70s, a guy came up with a product, and some of you may remember seeing them as children. He brought out a product in the fall of the 70s. He had created a little box that looked like a cage. He put grass in it, a little hay. He put a rock, a plain river rock, and a string, and the instructions on the care and feeding of your pet rock. Now this seems pretty ridiculous, but the man made $1 million in a matter of a few short months. These pet rocks sold at $2.99 during a time when minimum wage was $1.45. So, you had to work 2 hours to buy one of these things. Everybody I knew got one for Christmas. They peaked by January and February the next year. He could not give them away, but it was okay because he had made so much money off of them. And so those are how some really fast fads come along. Most products have somewhere in the middle, but we can pretty well tell what products are dead. For instance, this would really not be a good time to develop a VCR repair shop. Why? Because technology has surpassed that product, and while some people still continue to use VCRs, nobody would ever think about getting a VCR player repaired. It just has moved on. So as we're talking about new products and thinking about the product life cycle, that's what we're going to be doing. Your job task is to look at all the clients we've served this internship and come up with a new product for them and see how you would pitch it, how you would help them market it. It could be a new product for Gino's Pizza. It could be a new product for the Barron's bags. Perhaps you might want to go back to Lee and say, would you consider putting together another kind of energy drink that doesn't involve the liver thing, or see if we can put it into a capsule form. So think about what we've come along with and come up with a new product for yourself. Our case study is Harmonix. It is a totally different product, and we will see how it has evolved and developed over the years. I hope that you are having a good time working on your project. If you have any questions about working on it or what you're doing, this is a great time to work with me. I'll be happy to visit with you over the phone or by email. But if you have questions, this is absolutely the time to start asking them. And I will see you next week. Bye.